Good morning, YouTube. How are we? Hope everyone is good. So today we are going to be doing a bit of a day in the life, a bit of a vlog. It is quite an exciting day, so I thought I would take you along with it. So today I'm actually having a photo shoot to basically get some new pictures for my rebrand of my coaching company. So I'm going to take you along the photo shoot. I'm going to take you through my day. I have got training today, so I might take you through that, and I'm going to finish up on a bit of a Q&A about my HA period recovery all in journey. Let's get to it. So it's 8 o'clock. I need to leave at about 10 to 9 to go pick something up before then I go to the hairdressers and then go get my shoot done. So I want to eat something because I'm hungry, but I also don't want to feel really bloated on my photo shoot. Not that I'm bothered because I'm not wearing anything like skimpy, but you don't want to feel like bloated and minging. So I think I'm going to have something light this morning, just some fruit, yogurt, bit of cereal, obviously. Because I've actually stopped tracking now, which is something I'm going to talk about later on in the video. I'm loosely tracking because with HA you want to eat a certain amount. There is a minimum that you want to be eating. I want to be keeping my protein high as well because I still want to retain muscle. I still want to continue to build strength where I can, so I still want to keep my protein high. So I'm loosely mentally tracking, but not properly tracking, if that makes sense. So it's kind of going off intuition, thinking about what I actually want to eat rather than what I should be eating meal times. So yeah, I'm not that hungry, but I know I will be later and I want my focus to be there today. So let's go make some breakfast. So I've decided I'm going to make, it's just a spot, I thought it was a bit of food then, which would have been weird because I've not actually eaten. I'm going to make my world famous protein cookies again this morning because they're really light and they'll keep me full, but they won't like sit on me, they won't be like heavy. So if you are struggling with food to eat enough, or you're not that hungry in the morning but you want to get a protein kick and you want to get some calories in, these are super good. So I'm going to show you how I make them now. Would 10 out of 10 recommend using greaseproof paper or like baking paper. We don't have any. Pit stop first. I actually feel really sick from that breakfast and I don't know why. I have it like a lot and it's never made me feel this sick and I feel really sick, which is just not good, but I've got time because we have actually stopped off now at a girl I go to the gym with. She is a hairdresser, so she is sorting out this for the shoot. Yes, I'm not bothered about it. The shoot isn't about me looking like this, you know, Gymshark model, but the reality is I'm terrible at doing my own hair. I'm not a girly girl. I'm not good at it, but I want it to look, you know, semi-decent. Like, all being well, these pictures are going to be used quite a lot for my marketing, so I don't want it to look a bit grim because, you know, it doesn't look very professional, does it? So I'm getting that done now. I factored in 45 minutes to just get it styled. That's enough, right? See, this is the thing. I've literally got no idea when it comes to anything beauty, hair, skin. I'm terrible. I'm literally a poor excuse for a female when it comes to all that. So yeah, I'm hoping Jess can sort me out, and then I'm meeting Ryan at 10, so all being well. The gym is literally like 2-3 minutes from here, so you know, it's not like I've got a long drive or anything, so I should be on time. Fingers are crossed. Right, let's go get this weave sorted. I feel like I need to do a transition-y video, do you know what I mean? Like, okay, let's do it. So new hair coming to you in 3, 2, 1. Boom! Hair done. Shoot is now done actually. I was going to film afterwards, but I was in a bit of a rush because it went over. So the shoot is now done, which went really, really well. If I've got some shots back, I will insert some now for you. If not, go check them out on Instagram. But yeah, the rebrand is starting to feel real now. It's getting there, we're getting there. So now it's time to go home, have some food, and then I'm training with one of my best mates. She's back from London, so we're gonna go hit up a lower body session, which is gonna be amazing. It's time. And voila, here it is in my symbolic bowl. It's the only bowl I will use for this meal. Just, it is, and you can see that. It doesn't look very nice, but for me, this meal is just crack cocaine. I just love it. Shouldn't have done that, it's a bit hot, but eat this. Just sort my room out because it's an absolute state, and then leg day. Leg day it is. And it's always a good session with Abby because she trains hard, so it's going to be a good one. I'm really excited. Just packing my bag ready to go to the gym now, so getting my intro workout ready because I still have my EAA's intro workout because I still want to keep my protein high, as I think I mentioned earlier, right? It's not COVID, I promise. I promise. But what I wanted to reference is my jumper. Now, I love this jumper to pieces, and the other day I actually just got rid of all of my bodybuilding related clothing, so anything trained by JP, my other Monster Factory bits, because I just wanted to detach myself from the identity of bodybuilding to help me mentally with this whole process. But I couldn't bear to get rid of this one. I love it. It's the colour, it's so comfy, I love it. So I haven't got rid of this one because I love it, but the rest have all gone. Just sold them really cheap on Depop. One, money, but more so just to get rid. And I'm having a clear out anyway with the whole move, so I need to get a wiggle on now because instead of picking it up at 1:30 and it's only like 10 past, but traffic can be pretty bad. So I need to get a pre-workout ready. I need to get, because I'm quite tired, I need to get an intro workout ready and all of the other things. And I need to remember to talk to you, not you. So that I'm talking to now is the lens, but no, the camera, the screen, but I need to talk to this. I'll get there. I will be a pro blogger one day. I will be making all of my money from the YouTube one day, she says. So this is the glamorous reality post-workout. I didn't actually film any of this action because we just wanted to be in the moment and just enjoy it. It was a really good one. Really strong leg press, which was epic. Now I'm gonna have some post-workout, but all I really want is health because all I've had micronutrients wise today is spinach, which is not good. So see what veg or fruit we've got in, and then I think I might have my shortbread as part of my post-workout. Picked my shortbread earlier, don't know if I told you, but I did, which is a big deal for me. So let's go have some health, she says with a t-shirt with like not health on, but it's cute. But yeah, let's go find some health. Don't know what we've got. Health. So we had the health, and I was actually really full after it. So I've been doing just a little bit of work, bit of admin, bit of reading up on something for one of my clients, and now we're going to go in for the caramel slice. I have not had one of these in ages. It has been something that COVID, my eating disorder has held me back from. It's kind of been a fear food, so I saw it today and I wanted it. So I'm going to do it live on the camera. So are you ready for this? Are you ready? It's been a long time coming, and these are one of my favourite things in the world. Why? See, this is the thing. Why have I been telling myself no? These are my favourite. These are bae. This is what this process is about. I'm learning to let go of all of these stupid things that have held me back for so long. I'm going to go in again. Can you see that? Not going to focus, but it's amazing. That's all. So, Q&A time. I thought in this episode then I would bring a little bit of a Q&A about my all-in journey, because you may be familiar with the concept of all-in. I know people like Stephanie Buttermore have kind of made it well known. There's someone else in the fitness industry, I can't think who it is, she's quite well known, who's talked about it, but they actually did it for different reasons to me. So I wanted to do a little bit of a Q&A about it. So I did have my questions at the ready that some of you asked on Instagram, so I'm going to share these now. So the first one was, what is all in? So I think I actually wanted to cover this anyway, so that is a very important question. So all in is basically a concept of recovery from hypothalamic amenorrhea, which I first read about in a book called No Period Now What, which is recommended to me. So if anyone is going through something similar to myself, that is the first point of call. I would go and read that book. It is absolutely incredible. You can read a free chapter online as well, which kind of gives you the ins and outs, and then it can, you know, if it's for you basically. So all in is basically this concept of overcoming the three main components which basically cause hypothalamic amenorrhea, and that is restrictive eating, over-exercising, and being stressed. So going all in is basically trying to overcome all of these three things. So the first point of call, let's go with the restrictive eating. Now, restrictive eating isn't just about the actual calories, but it's actually the mindset as well. Our bodies and mind, people think are quite separate entities, but they're actually so much more linked than you think. So for me, it isn't a case of being restricted in calories. I was eating a decent amount of food. That wasn't the issue. I was in off season with my bodybuilding. I was eating well over 2,000 calories every day. You know, that wasn't the issue. For me, it's the restrictive mindset. And like I said, because our mind and bodies are linked, the fact I've had such a restrictive mindset for so long, I think is why my body is the way it is, because my body still thinks it is restricted, it still thinks it's deprived. And as a result, here I am. So in terms of what it means in terms of going all in, it basically means you have to eat a certain amount of food every single day in order to recover. Now, there is some science behind it, which I'm not going to go into in this podcast. I can go in YouTube. I can go into it in another episode if people are interested, but basically for my sort of height and activity, it's recommended 2,300 calories every day as a minimum, and then basically stop counting. So what I've done is basically I'm loosely tracking. I did have that as a goal originally, and so I know how sort of much food that is. I've tracked for a long time, so I roughly know, but I'm not actually tracking, because for me, the tracking obsession is what is part of the restriction element for me. So that is why I have stopped tracking. In terms of, I'll come on to that actually later, but it's basically learning to let go of food rules and learning to let go of restrictive, you know, mindsets around food and behaviors around food. And that is ultimately what it is from a food stance. From an exercise stance, it's bringing down intense levels of exercise. What I should have said at the start actually is all of this is basically to realign your hypothalamus, which is your control center. So these three elements of the food, the exercise and the stress, basically impact your hypothalamus, throw it out of whack, which is why it's not doing the things that it's meant to do in terms of reproduction, you know, having a period. So the exercise stance, exercise is a good stress, but it is a stressor on the body. Now, for people who are going through HA, exercise is actually bad for the body because your body is perceiving it as a stress. And when I say exercise, I mean intense levels of exercise. So, you know, lots of cardio, heavy, intense training for long periods of time. Now, I didn't think my training was intense, but when I look back, it was. You know, I was training for 5 days a week for 2 hours in the gym, you know, quite high volume, high reps, high intensity, and, you know, 2 or 3 bits of cardio. And obviously when I was doing my shoot prep and before that, I was doing more cardio. So yeah, it is pretty intense. So what I've done is I can't just quit training. It is recommended that you just stop exercising altogether and just walk and just do yoga and things. But for me, I need weight training for my own mental sanity. So I'm just going down to 3 days a week with reduced volume. And if I don't feel like training, I'm not going to train. Whereas if I feel energized, I am. I'm learning to be intuitive with my exercise, because that's what it's about for me, letting go of compulsions and feeling the need to train. Like in the past, I would cancel occasions. Like family would come around and I'd be like, no, I'm going to the gym, because I factored that in. And that's what I need to let go of, because family and friends and memories matter more. So that's what I'm doing. It's not what's recommended, but for me, I think letting go of exercise altogether would be stupid, because it isn't a compulsion. I do genuinely absolutely love resistance training, and I don't want to stop because I just love it. It makes me happy, it makes me feel empowered, it makes me feel strong, and that's what it's all about. And then stress. I think this is the biggest one for me because I did not realise how goddamn stressed I was all the time until it's actually been brought up to me, until I've actually started to practice mindfulness, meditation, being more in touch with my spiritual side and learning to let go. I didn't realise how stressed I was all of the time. I was always on edge, always anxious, always worried, always thinking about things, never being able to switch off completely. And now I can. And that is from actually learning to become more in touch with my spiritual side, which isn't what they tell you to do. It is just about, taking more time out and taking more time for you. And that is what I do. Every single Sunday is now my self-care day. I try not to reply to anything from a client perspective unless it's an emergency. I just do things for myself. I spend time in nature, I spend time reading, I spend time literally just sitting down doing nothing. And I try also have another at least half a day, a Saturday or a Thursday typically, where again I just do that, or an evening, because that is what I wasn't doing. I was never switching off. I was always having to do something, and it's just knackered me out, burnt me out. And it's why I just feel so on edge all the time, and it's just not a healthy mindset to be in, because it's just really not. So, well, one, for my health, and two, because it just ruins your whole quality of life. So in summary, that was quite a long-winded way of saying that. That is what all in is. Next question. Are you scared of gaining weight? Now, initially, yes, I was petrified, which is why my heart wasn't in it. If you watched my last video, which explains my decision to do it, I initially didn't want to do it because I was petrified of the weight gain. And inevitably so. I don't think any female wants to gain weight. And there's very few females out there who would say they're happy to gain body fat and happy to gain weight. For a couple of reasons. One, we have been conditioned as a society to look a certain way, and that the female body ideal is of a leaner physique, especially more so now. There has definitely been a shift more recently from being skinny to being strong, but even this strong, if you look at the models who are this strong, you're looking at Gymshark, Alphalete, Nike, Adidas, they are still all really lean. They still have visible abs, visible muscle definition, and that is what we've been conditioned to think is the ideal female body. So when we defer from that, which means, gaining weight, and we're always conditioned to want to lose weight, it's always celebrated, weight loss, fat loss. So when you are in a position where you have to do the other, yeah, it is. It's not, I wouldn't say I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to it. But my changes and self-perceptions of myself, and reading books and learning, again, to be more in tune with my spiritual side and learning to actually understand what is actually important in life. And for me right now, that is health and happiness. I'm not as fearful of it as I thought I would be. I'm embracing it. I'm learning to embrace the changes. There's parts of the changes to my body that I've seen that I actually kind of like. The fact I have more of a butt right now than before is a bit of a pancake. I've actually got a decent butt right now. Kind of like it. Other parts, not so much, like I look back on a picture that I had taken of me the other day, and I was a bit like, well, my legs look quite chunky there, my arms look quite chunky, my face is a bit rounder, but the thing is, this is me, this is who I am, this is what my body needs to be healthy, and maybe it does defy the female norm, and I'm a fitness professional who doesn't have abs and, post pictures in matching Gymshark outfits with the belly out. So what? Because this is what's healthy for me, and I want more females to understand that as well. So I'm not scared of gaining weight. I'm not excited about it. I'm not necessarily, looking forward to watching my body change the way it's going to, but I'm not scared of it because I'm not in fear of societal norms anymore. I'm not in fear of being judged, because all I care about is my own health and my own happiness. And if a slightly higher percentage of body fat means that, so what? So what? And I know people will judge me. I know, when I post pictures of me doing fitness and stuff, people will be like, people will think, oh God, she's an online coach, she's a personal trainer and she looks like that. But I don't care, because I want to change this. I want part of my recovery process and the changes to my business to actually start to change female perception of what is a happy, healthy body, and to actually change female perceptions of strength and power. And, it doesn't have to be what everyone thinks it is, because it's an unhealthy thing to strive for. Because for many females such as myself, that isn't, and we don't look like that naturally. In order to do that, we have to be meticulous with calories and have to be on it with our exercise, and we can't have times off track, otherwise we won't be able to look like that. And I just don't want other people to feel like that. Next question, what food do you have to eat? Okay, so in terms of what food I have to eat, again, I've sort of mentioned the 2,300 calories as a minimum. But in terms of the types of food now, there isn't like rules as such, because a part of the process is learning to let go of food rules. but it is about actually nourishing my body and caring for it. So with that comes eating a lot of whole foods, you know, so basing a lot of my diet, as I already was, around good quality whole foods. The difference is being that they do recommend omega-3s. Omega-3 has lots of links and crossovers with female hormones and hormones in general. I don't actually like fatty fish, so I just supplement omega-3. But again, a lot of it is about sort of healthy fat sources as well, getting a lot of dietary fat in from good sources, coconut oil, avocado, nuts, seeds, because there's a lot of crossover between fat sources and, well, fat basically is the building blocks of hormones, but there's a lot of links between certain types of fat and certain hormones as well, which is why it's important for me to be getting a lot of good sources of dietary fat in. Good carbohydrates. For me, I'm keeping my protein high, but there's nothing really that I have to eat. It's just about learning to let go of restrictions, actually saying yes to foods, and keeping my diet based around good quality whole food sources, in short. How long will it take? I wish I knew. There is no time frame. I don't know how long it could take. It could be, you know, I could get my natural period back in next week. It could be 6 months down the line. I don't know. But the thing is, when I actually get my first period, that doesn't mean things are over. It's then a case of transitioning, getting my next period, then getting my next period, and then slowly starting to adapt things from that. This is going to become a lifestyle change pretty long term, and that is how I'm seeing it. I'm not seeing it as like a 6-month program or whatever it is. I'm seeing this as a lifestyle change for myself. And when I do regain my natural cycle and my health is much more in order, my bones are stronger, I may reassess things. I may want to start training a bit more. But it all depends on where I'm at in life, because by then, I don't know. You know, right now, this lifestyle seems to work really well for me. With my business, with everything going on in my own personal life, it's working really well. But I don't know how long it'll take, you know, how long's a piece of string? It takes as long as it takes, and I've just got to keep going and ride it out. Final question that I'm going to answer in the Q&A for this one, I'm probably going to do another one later down the line when I've actually been in this journey a little bit longer, is what have been the highs and the lows so far? So I've only really been all in fully for just over a week. I've obviously started this journey in, it was February, March time, when I actually got first told to bring down my exercise down, and that's really when stuff started in terms of actually making these changes. But in terms of the highs, I think the highs for me is actually what it's actually brought to my life. I fully believe that this was meant to happen for a reason. I fully believe, I don't resent the diagnosis. I actually think, you know what, this was meant to happen to actually wake me up to the world and actually wake me up to what my life could become. So I feel so much more at peace in myself and the world. I've opened my mind up to a new sense of reality and a new chapter of my life, which so far has been amazing, and I feel so liberated. I feel so free. I feel so carefree in terms of my body, in terms of actually feeling less stressed and less anxious, and just actually feeling happy and content and smiling more and having more energy. Those have been the highs. And to be honest, I think realistically the only lows were when I was first on the pill that I got put on to boost my estrogen, because I felt like absolute shite. But ever since I've come off that, I felt amazing. But there's not actually been really any massive lows so far. There really hasn't at all. But again, this is only a week or so in. You know, I'm going to do another one. I reckon, you know, in a few months' time, there are going to be struggles. I am going to have times where I want to relapse, and times where I want to count calories again, and times where I don't like how I look. But we'll cross those bridges when we get there, because right now, things are going really good. Things are going really, really good. But that's everything, guys. I'm going to leave this YouTube episode here. So I don't think I said it at the start, but you've got to like it because it's kind. You've got to subscribe if you haven't, because I'm going to bring out so much more cool videos and you don't want to miss them. And you got to comment. No, you don't have to comment. But if you've got any questions or any positive feedback, please leave them in the comments. If there's anything that you want to see, again, leave that in the comments. And I'm going to leave all of my handles for the other bits and bobs that I do. My Instagram, because I post more of my daily life on there. My podcast, because I talk about some important topics and fun things on there. And I'm going to leave my coaching details as well for how you can apply to join me for one-to-one coaching as well on my group coaching program too. Over and out, guys. Have a great day. Peace and love.